Hi, my name is Laurel Dodge, and I'm the author of the Buoyant Letters of Mimsy Bell. It's an epistolary novel written in letters. It's the letters are from Mimsy Bell, who is an ex-rock star who spent 60 years on the road with her husband Lawrence and has returned to her hometown in Western Maine in order to figure out the last part of her life. She's writing letters to Gerald, who was her first love, who drowned in a river in Menotomy 60 years before. Dear Gerald, early this morning, I called up the Menotomy Cemetery Committee and asked them if there was any room for me in the Fight Brook burial ground. Despite looking half empty, it is closed and has been since 1921. But I have a great aunt and uncle resting in place under this old oak tree waiting for me there. I've been on the move, on the road, forever, and soon enough it will be time for a permanent patch of ground to rest my bones. And I prefer it be ground consecrated by kin. Closed or not, I'll try to find a way in. Once in, there I will stay. To stay in one place seems so appealing. I have so many cities under my belt: New York, Boston, Los Angeles, Detroit, Dallas, Chicago, Memphis, Reno. Rolling in under cover of darkness with the band, met by screaming crowds, seeking oblivion in someone's arms and doing the whole thing again 300 miles down the highway. We were vagabonds, a band of famous and anonymous drifters. Our sound brought thousands of people together, and not one of them ever had a glimpse of who we really were. Thousands of shows, and we made no permanent connections. Wait, I take that part back. My husband Lawrence connected to one or two or three particularly fetching girls every 2 night stay, and I with him. But that is a nameless fuck, not an intimacy. Now, don't fret about my language, nor about the sex. Things have changed since the 1950s. And just because I'm an old lady doesn't mean I'm good. I have been bad, very bad, far worse than you. Even the animals know it. As I sit here on the slope of Mount Tom, 2 jays are reciting my sins. A cheeky red squirrel, its tiny back legs thumping against the branch, is scolding me. And even the crows atop the pines are taking a vituperative tone. I'm getting closer to the river, and nature is throwing down the unwelcome mat. And well, she should. I'm an environmentalist nightmare. My flesh has been pickled by so many drugs, I ought to walk around with a hazmat warning sign around my neck. I abandoned nature completely for decades, traded our lovely, soft landscapes for the dirty, sharp edges of nightclubs and stadiums. I've left outdoor concert venues that fans covered from end to end with garbage without feeling an iota of responsibility. I did not procreate. I did not contribute a person to the whims of nature's evolutionary playground. I no longer have any connection to the land, and from the sound of its emissaries loudly encouraging me to turn back, nature knows. What I had instead were lots and lots of people, and lots of fights, jealous rages, frustrated meltdowns, angry outbursts complete with broken plates. You wouldn't have recognized me back then. I had some rough decades there. The free love 60s and the free to be you and me 70s, every minute of which I spent stoned or under one band member or another and feeling completely and vastly alone while shoulder to shoulder with my tribe in the middle of 2,000 fans. Knowing that I wasn't good enough to be on that stage and taking it out on anyone who looked at me sideways. It's a long way from the band shell at the country fair to the Fillmore, but I made it there. if only by virtue of marriage. To be sure, I did play fiddle well enough to impress the judges. You heard me play. I was good. Lawrence heard me the year you died, when I was playing my pain away, and I was even better. He heard me play on a Sunday night. The rest of Fair Week he romanced me, and when they swept out the band shell for the last time, I left with him and did not look back. His band was in its infancy then. I was there for every growing pain, every bumped head, every loose tooth, and I was there for the band's growth spurt, Lawrence's meteoric rise, and the real deal, pot-scented, hippie guru fame, the stardom. But no matter how Lawrence and I tried, no matter how brightly he and his bandmates burned, we were atoms, millions of miles apart, profoundly disconnected. In retrospect, I see there was no other way for me to be without you. That one time with you by the river eclipsed 1,000 times with him on the road. One perfect moment. I always had that. I don't think my husband ever found it. No, not even with me. Love, Mimsy.